said Owen Benjamin tried to poison my lasagna. That's how you're going to try and diss someone in a wheelchair? By saying that the wind blew them over? That's your slight jab at me, buddy? Nice try. Must be nice to try and make jokes like that. Found out about Owen Benjamin and the Unbearables. I can't remember exactly who told me about them. It might have been one of them who had reached out to me, actually. Long story short, in like March of 2018, I was looking to, of course, continue building the show, and I was looking for a group of networkers, kind of like-minded creative conservatives, and I was told about the Unbearables. I found out about Owen through the JRE podcast. To be honest, I wasn't really a big fan of him comedically. Like, I thought he was okay, but he wasn't, great. But I kind of liked what he was doing with the whole, anti-trans kids thing. That really spoke out to me. And in the beginning, the Unbearables seemed to be a great network. People who were doing creative stuff like art and design and podcasting and video production, parody, songs, musicianship, in the case of Chuck Boris, and just late night streams, which was how I met the original DZ guys. Of course, John Neary was my first interview for the brief period of time I was with the Bears. But here's the thing, Owen's not even a conservative. He's a fucking leftist, posing. He's a wolf in sheep's clothing. How dare you! Owen is doing the shit that mass shooters do before they go out and do a school shooting. Here's my manifesto. We need to get rid of the weak people, and I'm not saying he's going to be the one to do this.
An Australian man murdered his wife with a pair of scissors, stabbed her in the chest.
This is a warning to the general public about Owen Benjamin. We warned you. How dare you!
Must be nice.
According to him, the goat urinated on him first, in front of Amy.
all this gay talk is pissing off my German Shepherd.
Alrighty folks, good evening and welcome to tonight's edition of the Whitfield Report. I am your host, Sam Whitfield, broadcasting live here from South Florida, and I want to thank you so very much for joining me wherever you are in the past, present, future, however listening to this on the podcast. And if you're viewing this live, welcome to your favorite Saturday night show. I really appreciate all of you for joining me. And we are simulcasting with our friends on Versa Media as well. So hello to their viewers as well. And tonight we're going to be having not really debate, but more of a discussion between Sean and blood sports if we want to call it, between Sean and Alex of Versa Media, and me and E Scorpio. Hopefully, it won't turn too bloody, but who knows? I know we all have different opinions about various topics, and I know that Scorpio is, he's doing things right now, so he'll be on in a bit. But right now, I just kind of wanted to start off with some casual banter. Sean, Alex, how have you gentlemen been?
We're doing awesome, and welcome everybody on the Versa side of the stream to the real news for this week. We are going to be talking about a few news topics before we get into the debate. Hopefully, Scorpio shows up. We agreed to a debate this week, as y'all heard on Sam's channel. If you haven't yet, subscribe to Sam's channel and watch that video. Give him a like and all that good stuff. But the biggest story I think we need to talk about this, because the State of the Union was boring and lame and gay and whatever you want to call it. Those are the words I was seeing on Twitter about it. I thought it was simply just boring. But I want to talk about Nicholas J. Fuentes, the controversial streamer that people love and hate, but apparently
already know about like all the other crap you've done. They don't really give a shit. They know about your astral projection and shit like that. They don't care.
Sammy, what are you
It's
doing
already
in
out
here, bro?
there.
Don't you have a show to do?
Oh, wrong Discord.
Wrong VC.
come to his desk, but it really didn't have teeth in it. It really wasn't going to do a lot. So Nick, Loomer, Witsky, Malkin all went down there to protest and encourage DeSantis to put amendments in it to actually have bigger fines on there, have bigger penalties for tech companies, and to protect state candidates from being banned on social media. None of that stuff was in it. There were very weak penalties with very little fines. Really wasn't effective. So they all band together because, they kind of may have some different viewpoints, but they're on the same side of this of we don't want censorship. Censorship sucks and it hurts all of us. That's how we lose. So they went down there. But when Nick went to go down there, he went to fly in a plane and he went into the airport and he didn't have his boarding pass yet. He was supposed to get it, like you do 24 hours before a flight, and he didn't get it yet. But he still went down there anyway, couldn't get his boarding pass, and then he started talking to the flight people, and they said, "You can't board the plane." He's like, "What are you talking about?" And they said, "Well, you can't. You are not allowed to." So he tries to get another ticket from another airline. Same story. You can't go on the plane. So at this point, he's starting to connect the dots. It doesn't matter the airline. He just simply can't go and fly in a plane because he's in Chicago. And so he even took a video of the exchange, and it sounds like that he is on a no-fly list, a federal no-fly list, which is normally what terrorists go on. And they put a 22-year-old streamer on it. This to me is so insane. I'm glad Tucker gave a subtle shout out to it. He didn't mention his name, but look, Nick Fuentes did nothing wrong here. He should not be on that list. This is insane. This is crazy, and this is where we're heading, and everybody's going to be next.
Are we sure that it was just one, that it was federal? Because from what I read, it was one airline. So also...
Nope. He tried different airlines. He spent money on tickets from, I think, 2 or 3 different airlines, and all of them he couldn't go on and fly.
Also, good evening to E Scorpio, the Galen Chief.
Let's go.
The Apexican, the bane of
That's racist.
The bane of the Kurgan's existence. So
Hello, Santa. Hey, I'm ready to go. I got everything set now.
well, glad to have you on here, my friend. So I've noticed that as usual, I'm the only one on camera here, but that's fine. Anyway, though, yeah, in regards to the whole Nick Fuentes thing, I I have mixed emotions on that because I don't think it shouldn't be a surprise to anyone here on my channel at the very least that I'm not a fan of Nick Fuentes personally, and uh, you know, I don't think Sean or Alex are either, and I certainly know Scorps doesn't. He and I think share the same opinion on Nick.
What are we talking about, Nick, right now? What I missed I missed the intro.
He's been put on no-fly list,
Is
and that's
that
what.
confirmed? Is that confirmed? Because I've heard another story.
Well,
Can
it's
you
his.
really
It's
confirm
his.
that? Like,
Well, that's the thing. The FBI is not allowed to tell you, hey, you're on a no-fly list, or no, you're not on a no-fly list. They cannot confirm or deny that. But you can find out yourself by going to an airport, trying every different airline, and if you can't get on a plane, they tell you can't fly, you're on a no-fly list probably. 90% chance. I don't see any other reason as to why. And that's what he did. He went to an airport, couldn't go on the first plane, tried a different one from a different airline, still couldn't do it. I think he even did a third one, still couldn't do it. He even captured on video. And when he was talking to the airline people there, they were asking him, his name, things about him, and he was answering it. And one of the ladies even said like they were getting tired of all the woke crap at the airports. And one of the ladies even told him, she Googled him and she said, "Oh, I can see why you can't go on a plane," because she Googled his name. So I'm pretty sure they put him on no-fly list because he was at January 6th. That's my guess.
Well, yeah, and I mean, not to play devil's advocate, but I'm pretty sure the reason why he was put on a no-fly list is because he was advocating terrorism basically with January 6th. If you
Well,
believe
he's had problems with the airlines before, hasn't he? He's gotten the last I had heard, he'd gotten kicked off a flight for refusing to wear a mask.
Yes, that did happen. And if that were the case for this, outcome, it would have been just that airline. It would have been like every single airline, but he was kicked out before. I didn't see any time where he made terroristic threats or anything like that. All he did was show up to January 6th, give a speech and leave. He didn't even enter the Capitol. It happened like long after he left, and this is just insane. Like, this is the type of stuff that is going to become a bigger reality, and I think people need to wake up to that. It's going to start with him. It's going to keep moving along. It's like the tech censorship. It starts with somebody you think's a little out there or a little more provocative, and then it gets closer in.
wait, even worse. Like, what if they're gonna put you on a no-fly list if you don't take your mask off or whatever? Is
That'd
that
be
gonna
pretty crazy.
like that's even like what's more scary? Like, it's one thing to go and like, and it's fucked up too, for having your political beliefs basically put you on a no-fly list. But what's even worse is if you like. Like, well, if they see you walking around with no mask with like a camera on, they go and put you in like a no-fly for like 2 weeks less. And then they do it permanently if you're anti-mask.
Or if you don't have the vaccine.
the vaccine thing is something that I do worry about with them potentially putting on a no-fly list. I think that there is certainly, maybe a risk for that. In regards to Fuentes, though, I mean, the thing of it is he is still on Twitter, as people have pointed out, and I'm surprised that he is still on Twitter. So
I'm shocked too.
it
I mean, he's a bit more strategic where he'll sometimes delete edgier tweets like a few hours after posting them, but he doesn't really do it that much. But I'm surprised he's still on Twitter. I have to admit, I'm impressed that he can last this long with his notoriety and the things he says. But they took him off DLive, they took him off YouTube, they took him off Airbnb, I think, and a few other things. He's been deplatformed big time, and that's why he was trying to go to this big tech censorship rally and protest to demand that DeSantis put the necessary amendments in the bill, and this is just the bigger picture here. And
And here
the
and
silence
here's
from a lot of conservatives tells you a lot about those people.
Well, you know what?
and
These
and
conservative-
and Sean, I mean, I hate to say this, but I would say leave that to the Floridians or you know, and whatnot. I do not want Nick Fuentes as part of a conservative movement, and I am,
Oh, jeez.
and I've been very, you know, I've been open about that. I don't consider I'm a conservative. I never have. So, you know, uh, he should have thought twice maybe before January 6th. In my
Yeah,
book.
but there's no reason he should be on a no-fly list. I mean, you can love or hate the guy, but there's no
Well, he's
reason
on.
he should be on.
If he is on the no-fly list, the reason he is on that no-fly list is the same reason all these idiots are, because they're stupid. They can't keep their mouths shut. They intentionally provoke things in order to have this reaction. I'm not believing. I can't see any of these doomsday scenarios coming to pass where all conservatives are not going to be allowed to fly, or all conservatives are going to be censored. That is never going to happen.
Oh yeah, no, you'll
It's
have
ju-
your cuck conservatives. They can go and fly. That's fine. They don't care if you know George or Jeb Bush flies.
Well, and you'll have the majority of the population that doesn't care about politics also unaffected. I mean, it's not the only people who are affected by these things are the loudest morons that are out there. Fuentes is one of them.
He shouldn't be on a no-fly list.
All right, so here's my thing. Who cares if it's just the people who are allowed? Like they have a freedom of speech. They shouldn't be
Yep.
affected. The fact that we even have a no-fly.
Well, no, they don't.
in this
The
country
freedom
is
of speech
bullshit.
has nothing to do with being able to fly.
Well, okay, so you can't
Okay.
fly. What if you have a job that requires you to fly? Up, you can't have a job. Up, you're too bad. What if you have family in Europe, and you know they're on their deathbed? Up, too bad. The government doesn't like you. Up, sucks. To be
Yeah,
you.
you should have thought about that before
You should have
acting
thought
so
about that
stupid on
before.
social media.
Dude, we have freedom of speech in this country. You know, we shouldn't be like and basically
Freedom of travel too.
yeah,
freedom of
we should have
movement.
freedom to travel. If you're
Is
U.S.
that in the
you
is that in the Constitution? You have the freedom to
Oh
get on
yeah,
a
they had
plane.
the freedom of travel in the Constitution before
Well,
they had the fucking airplanes. Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
okay. Well, this
That's a big
this
brain.
You guys are the ones that said it.
well to kind of play devil's advocate though. This does bring in another thing that I've been railing about for the past couple of years, which is okay. Nick wants to complain about censorship from, you know, not being able to travel. Take it up with the people who wrote the Patriot Act. That's the real, you know, problem here is, you know, the Patriot Act in regards to the airlines and the fact that we've had
the
this
Patriot
thing.
Act's bullshit, but the no-fly list has been that's been a thing way longer than the Patriot Act.
Yeah, but I
And-
mean, the no-fly list got drastically affected by Sean, and like all I'm saying is that like, you know, maybe is the general perception here seems to be that the right wing incited terrorism on January 6th. I'm not saying that that's what happened, okay? But that's how the normies perceived it, and so therefore, because of that, Nick and all these other people are going to be classified as terrorists. And
yeah, that's the problem. It's
What-
such bullshit.
What crime did Nick commit?
None.
Commit?
He hasn't been charged with anything.
Yeah, that's my thing. If you want to go and make it so certain people who you know aren't allowed to go on a plane, you know, based on evidence, you know, charge them with something, and give them a means to go and contest that in court. There's no with the no-fly list, you have no way to contest it. You have no sort of method to you can't even see if you're on it unless you like it's a guessing game. You had to go and you know spend money, go to these airlines, waste your time, and there's no appeals process, which is bullshit. Honestly, like it's one thing if you do that too for like a foreign national, but in the United States, we have a Bill of Rights. We have you know certain things.
Well, and it's the same thing with freedom of speech. People like to say, oh, well, it's only the Nazis that can't speak. It's only the Nazis that can't travel. Which Nick obviously isn't a Nazi, but they always start these extremes. But the problem with the logic with that is the left calls us all Nazis. They're just all terrorists. So yeah, you're gonna start with your Fuentes and your Alex Jones maybe or some other people, but the line's gonna keep moving. We're seeing it with tech censorship. First it's Milo, next it's
I
Alex
disagree with
Jones.
that. I don't think that's going to happen.
Oh, absolutely it will. Absolutely.
I'm curious.
Why would it not
I'm
if they can
curious
keep
to-
getting away with it when the state has unlimited money, unlimited power? Well, it's limited power, but with this particular thing, they can put anyone on it. If they can put Nick on, they could put me on. I mean, they could put anybody that was at January 6th on. They could put so many people on there, and that's what's terrifying
We're-
about. Will they put every Republican on? Of course not. It's
We're-
not an all or nothing thing. But it will be significant people, influential people, people that like. What if they put Trump on there? What if they put Trump on the no-fly list?
I don't see them.
Rallies.
I don't
He
see
could
them
have his own
put.
planes.
I don't see them putting on the form. I don't see them putting the former president of the United States on. I mean, if shit
Well,
gets,
he has his own plane, doesn't he?
He does, but most people don't. What are we gonna do? Create our own airline? Create our own TSA? Create our own government? Create our own country?
I
Like,
You're not
mean,
even allowed to create your own airline. Like you still have to go and follow the TSA rules. There is no alternative to that. And that's one of the reasons why this no fly list is particularly bullshit. You can't even make your own alternative.
and I mean, I think
it's
we.
scary.
I think we can all. I think we all can agree here that the Patriot Act and the no-fly list, to a certain extent, is BS. But what
Yes.
I guess
Okay, so regarding the no-fly list, I just looked it up right now, and it says that it can be verified whether someone is on a no-fly list or not. It says that if you are a U.S. citizen or lawful permanent resident, and the TSC determines that you are on the no-fly list, AHS TRIP will send you a letter informing you of your status on a no-fly list and providing the option to submit and receive additional information. So Nick would know whether he is or not. We could find out that. He could just
prove
show the
it.
paperwork.
Yeah, he could prove
Yeah,
it.
he could prove it. In other words, but I would think that if he's able to know about it, it should be public knowledge. So you could probably FOIA that information. But it's also saying that there is an appeals process. So
Yes, that's true. Yeah, and then he's looking into avenues, I know, to figure this out, but he said he was never notified. He knew even when he went down to Florida for what was it, CPAC. He knew he could fly then, and he considered doing it, but he decided to drive for a multitude of reasons. But he did not know about it, and
So wait, I'm confused. He
Yeah.
knew he knew he was on the no-fly list when he went to
no,
Florida.
he
or
didn't.
No,
he
he
didn't
said-
until a few days ago when he tried to go down to Florida.
but all we have to go on is Nick's word, and
No, there's video.
Didn't
Not-
Casey
There's
say
video.
that?
Yeah. There's video.
like-
I'm saying it's something that, according to this, should be able to be proven one way or another.
Wait, didn't that
So
Robert Casey-
until he shows that document, we have to take his word for it that he is on the
No,
no-fly
take the word
list.
of TSA. They told him on video. It's on his Twitter.
Wait, Sean, didn't that
Mhm.
Robert Casey guy or whoever the other guy make that allegation a couple months ago?
Patrick, yes. Yeah, I was telling that to a friend of mine who's close to people. I said, wow, Patrick was right again. Yeah, that's what Patrick said. But Nick says he didn't know this. Maybe maybe Patrick is a Fed, and that's why he knew. Wouldn't surprise me. But like, see, the thing to me that makes no sense, because some people say there's a no-fly list, is he was not allowed to go on any airline. Any airline. He has it on video. It's on his Twitter. He wasn't allowed to go on any airline.
Yeah, again, video. I mean, come on, guys. There's legal documentation that I mean, according to what's just been read, that he could show. Like, I mean, video means all kinds of things and can have all sorts of context. Of course, I haven't seen the video, but I'm assuming that he's being told by TSA agents that he's on a no-fly list. No, you can't.
Well, they
can't
tell him
board.
they can't tell him. Like, that's the thing about no-fly lists, is like they can't confirm or deny. But they did
Well,
tell him
he-
you can't go on the plane.
but he can though. That's the thing. So instead of confirming or denying, we're stuck here debating, and you're convinced, and other people aren't. I mean, there's
Well, I
reasonable
don't
doubt on both
see.
sides.
I don't know where Scorpio found that thing where they mail it to you. Like
I've never heard of that.
I've never heard of that. That doesn't make sense. Like I've always
Why-
understood a no.
Why would
file
it not
system.
make sense? Why do you?
Are they gonna?
I mean,
what
y'all
government-
are
what
y'all are
government
coming
does-
y'all are coming from this position that the government is this big shadowy organization, and I can understand you
Kind
feeling
of
that way,
is.
but
Kind of
it
is.
doesn't. Real life doesn't really work like that.
They
I
do
mean,
not
what
mail
government
that.
Hang on,
document is
let me
mailed
put
to
the
you?
Talk to the feds.
Let
Talk
me
to the
put the link.
FBI.
Yeah, no, they
Do you-
don't mail that shit to you. I've never heard of that. I've heard where they will go because they've fucked up people's names before. They might not even have your address, like the entity that's doing this. They might just have your name or an alias.
Yeah, I mean the
They
government.
have your social security number enough to block you from fucking getting on a plane.
Yeah,
Apparently,
yeah, they
I
know
mean,
who you
what
are.
could they know who
they're
the fuck
keeping
you
you
are.
from
They've
What
flying.
gotten that
government
wrong
document?
before.
What
They had
government
I
document
think
don't
there
you
was
get
a
in the
senator
mail
who
though?
was put on the
Edward,
no-fly
yes,
list.
Senator Kennedy was denied boarding a flight because his name was similar to an alias found in a no-fly list. That's from 2004.
Well, found similar to be an alias, but he was proven not to be, and therefore didn't receive any documentation. Perhaps Nick Fuentes is in a similar situation, and instead of confirming or denying that, just lets everybody gets their wheels all spun up about the big bad, obviously not good government and all their overreach.
I
which
don't.
They're certainly doing in many ways, but
I don't think
Well,
Well,
anyone.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there's more to the story. Like, don't get me wrong, but this is still something that I think people should be talking about because if it's, I mean, a no-fly list is bullshit to begin with in many ways. So it's scary, and people should at least think of, even if this turned out not to be true, realize that this is something that could very well happen.
I don't think anyone is denying that the government is way, is way over, way out of
Powerful.
Overreaching.
is way overreaching in many ways. And I mean, Scorpio and I, all of us have talked how there's a lot of fear porn from the government and from both parties. But all I'm saying is, I'm not sure that. I mean, there could be a case to be made still that someone like Nick Fuentes, just because he is in questionable states with the airlines, doesn't mean that all of us are now doomed to.
Well,
no,
yeah,
hold on,
but
time out.
when
Hold-
you
just hold on,
become
just
a
hold on,
public
hold on, time.
figure,
But hold on, time out. Let's before you because I know where you're going with that. But let's say removing entirely, just like anybody else on the planet could happen to that tries to get on a plane and has a name similar to an alias that's on the no-fly list and is denied access and can get video on camera and post it all over Twitter or not. That could happen to anybody. I guarantee you that has happened to normal citizens, but they're not Nick Fuentes with a platform claiming all of the things that they claim.
Well,
It's a
Yeah,
They had
I
it
mean
happen
that
to
kind
a
of stuff
Marine.
happens all the time. This is
Exactly.
something that most people don't deal with being on
I-
a no-fly list. But
They had a
it's the same
Marine.
thing as
They had a
it's the
Marine
same
going
thing as
back from the
having
war who got put on the no-fly list and they couldn't get shipped home. Like that's bullshit.
yep.
it's the same
And
thing as having trouble getting your license. You deal with the shit when it
No,
happens, and then
no.
you go through the steps to get it rectified. And maybe if he finds out that he is deserving of being on that list, which again we don't know if he is or not.
Nick is not a
If
terrorist.
he's deserving of being on the list, then they need to go and throw him in jail or put him on trial. If he's not
Yep.
able to be charged with anything, he should not be on that list.
Well,
the
But
airlines are a
it
government
doesn't
body,
have
though.
anything to do with being a criminal.
Yeah,
Well,
it's not,
yeah,
they're
it
not
Yeah, it
Sure.
does.
Being a terrorist is a criminal offense.
again, though, this goes back to the whole thing of the Patriot Act, and with, I mean, there are so many there are so many shadow laws on the books in regards to 9/11 and the whole Patriot Act that we don't really know what's going on. Even there's so
Again,
much.
Sam, I feel like this whole conversation is spun around a narrative that is because Nick Fuentes is Nick Fuentes. I mean, we have no fucking idea. And it could be, if it turns out that it's because he's said some things on the internet, then I would agree that that's not great. But
No, it's
I mean,
awful.
boats still fucking exist, dude. So do cars.
Yeah, he's gonna
You
boat
can
Yeah.
to
drive the fuck you
Florida.
want. Why the
He's
fuck
gonna
not?
boat to Florida.
Why the fuck not? How much money you think he's made living in his
He's
mom
in
and dad?
Well, do you know how long
Illinois.
that takes to go and take a
Well,
fucking?
he's got.
Dude, he's in Illinois. He can't boat
I
to Florida. He would
can
have
I
to.
don't think. Yeah,
cars,
he can
so
drive.
touch the cars too.
Yeah, and that would take you
Cars
what,
too.
like 5 days? Like, come on. That's
No, it doesn't take
Motorsport
5
would
days.
take you- It would take you like fucking 10 hours, maybe.
All
Driving
right,
the
now
speed
let's
limit.
say that he's, let's take the fact that this is Nick Fuentes out of this. This is, let's say, your average Joe. They have a job. They're required to go travel for that job, and they're expected to do it in a timely fashion. You're gonna get your ass fired if you are put on that list because
Why
you
would you
can't
get
make your,
so why would the average Joe with the job that requires that travel be put on that list?
because
In
they had a
this
similar
scenario?
name to someone else.
Okay, so then they could appeal it and prove that they're not that person, and it could eventually fly again.
Yeah,
And
by the
I
time
don't.
they
Yeah,
win.
by the time you do that, your job's gone. You're screwed.
Well,
Oh,
Yeah,
you
but
mean
that's the
okay?
thing
So you
that-
mean the
yeah,
government intervention wouldn't save your job? What the fuck planet do you guys live on? Come on.
well,
If the,
well, not
if the
Well,
necessarily.
your
government claims
employer
you're a
might.
terrorist,
Well,
you
yeah,
don't
what
make
do you
it to
tell your
work, and then
employer?
you prove you're
What's your
not.
employer gonna think? Oh yeah, by the way, boss, I'm on the no-fly list. Oh yeah, don't worry about it. You come back next week.
It would be, by the way, boss. There's been some misunderstanding of my identity, and I've been identified as a terrorist. And then later,
yeah,
it's proven you're
Yeah.
not that fucking
Yeah, they're gonna
terrorist,
believe
and
you.
you're you who you've always been. And
Yeah, they're
it's
gonna.
a government fuck up, which happens all the time. All the
yeah,
time.
yeah.
I mean,
Your bosses don't believe that when you have a deadline
yeah,
due like the next day.
yeah, you're right.
I'm
You're right.
Mohammed
I'm
Al Mazura, and I'm not a terrorist.
Yeah, they even
I'm
found
the
a guy who
original
was
one.
apparently like basically black. The government was trying to go and blackmail him into what was it,
You
like
guys are crazy,
spying
man.
on like a mosque or something. It was it was a Muslim guy, and they were like trying to go and turn him into an informant. And when he refused, he found himself on the no-fly list. And I think the ACLU actually took up that case. And
Yeah.
it's been going on for years, and it's still in litigation. It's not a fast turnaround process. Like this stuff takes years and thousands of dollars to lawyers, and then you won't even get your money back.
Oh
It's
yeah,
not something that the average person, even if they were put on there inappropriately, can have any sort of recourse with. It's a bullshit system. And it doesn't even work.
And by the way, I checked on Wikipedia. The ACLU has long criticized the no-fly list and similar lists because of the lack of notification to persons included on such lists.
That's the link that I put in the server. That's where I got the information from.
Yeah, so they don't notify people is what it sounds like.
No, the fact that they notify people, I got it from the ACLU's website.
The ACLU says that when you're on the no-fly list, you get notified.
Yeah, that's so I put the link in the show prep links.
All right,
Panel.
Yeah, like most government documents, they mail it to your government address. Like literally every government document gets mailed to you. I mean, I don't know why that.
look,
I mean, although that's not government. Oh, that's not government, I guess.
look, I can tell you from personal experience, and this is actually a pretty funny story in retrospect, but I didn't get put on a no-fly list, but I got pulled out of a TSA line once because when they were swabbing my manual wheelchair,
Rape chair.
they found.
Disavow.
Okay, now, goddamn, Apex, now you're gonna put me on a no-fly list, damn it. No, but anyway, yeah, the manual rape chair, as Apex calls it, got pulled out of line because I rolled through some, I guess when I was in my dad's garage, like I rolled through some motor oil, and when they swabbed me down, that motor oil registered, and oh geez, when you know it, motor oil is explosive, and whatnot.
You're gonna blow the plane up, Sam, with your wheelchair.
I mean, that was kind of the logic that they
Allah
were. So, look, I'm not disagreeing with you guys that I'm not disagreeing with you guys that the government can't be retarded. and I'm not saying that Nick Fuentes necessarily should be on. I'm not even sure I'm disagreeing with you, but what I am disagreeing with is a lot of people on Twitter who are saying, "Oh my God, Nick Fuentes did nothing wrong. He's a good boy." And
Did he violate the law? It
Nope.
doesn't matter if you're a good person or a shit person. Did you commit a crime and are being charged
I mean,
with a crime?
Nope, he's not.
not at this time.
I don't think anybody's saying that.
I know.
Nobody's saying that he. No, I'll go as far as to say is I don't consider Nick a terrorist.
I don't consider him one either, but I do know that he's being investigated. And
He is being investigated by the feds, yes.
And I also know that because of the Patriot Act, there is, I don't know if it's public anymore, but I do know that there is I know that there is in some section in there, and maybe I shouldn't be repeating this publicly, but I do happen to know, based on what I've heard from people, that you can be pulled off of, you can still be put on a no-fly list if you're under investigation for that sort of thing. So,
Which would make sense.
Yo, what's this? From the ACLU, I refuse to become a FBI informant, and the government put me on the no-fly list.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all.
Is this Patrick Casey? No.
No,
Is
this
that
is a
the
Muslim.
headline? Are you going to read any more? Or is the proof
Nah,
of
he
that?
took the bait. You know, he's
Oh, it's a long one. It wouldn't shock. It wouldn't surprise me. And like I brought up the Muslim example, with the job situation, because let's bring the leftist argument to this. What if people are like stereotypical and biased towards you, and they don't believe that you're this, other alias, like your employer, and then that's where you lose your job. But like with Nick, he's fortunate because, like, in one regard, because he is his own entity, but part of his job is like traveling around the country doing stuff, and he was prevented from doing that from each airline he tried. So if he's not on a no-fly list, though, like, what is he on?
Well, see, I think he should be able to go and have legal redress against the government at that point for lost wages. If they're not
I
going
hope
to charge
so.
him with
I
anything.
mean,
That's
Because he hasn't been charged with anything. He's just living his normal life. He knows he's being investigated by the feds. So I assume he's gotten a visit by them, maybe. He knows that, and he's had a bank account frozen with 6 figures in it, and now he can't fly in the country. He can't fly out of the country.
He had somebody donate him a shitload of Bitcoin recently too, didn't he?
Yeah, that's what I was
Yes.
thinking. I mean, he's involved in some shady shit, or at least it appears shady.
Yeah,
When
it
you
does
can't
appear
access
shady.
a normal bank account, you kind of have to go and use some shady things to even. Do
No,
anything.
well, that was
the
after.
fact.
Yeah, that was
That
after the fact.
the Bitcoin donation. It was like fucking. What
I
was it?
don't.
even
Was it
remember.
after?
Yeah, it was, and
oh,
I
yeah.
think that's one of the reasons why they froze it. It was like 250 grand from I think a French donor or something like that. So
That's what I was gonna say. 250 grand in Bitcoin.
why are the frogs sympathetic to Nick? I thought Nick. I thought.
I'm sure it's not a real French bird. It's probably Russian.
I thought Nick hated the French. Hey, and boy, I'm on the roll here. I'm arguing.
well, it's Sam. It's America first, unless you got $250,000 to give him.
What's up, guys?
Hey,
Yo,
Phil.
Let's go.
What's
Let's
up?
go.
Oh, good.
Hey,
Oh, good.
Hey.
Now it's 3v2.
Yeah.
Came in here to.
Did you hear that Nick Fuentes had sex with somebody while he was on his last flight before he was put on the no-fly zone?
Is that true?
Yeah,
Who did he have sex with?
yeah, and his butthole is still hurting.
God.
Disavow.
Scorps.
YouTube might be cool with that.
Scorps, this is Phil, who is actually older
Catboy Casey.
than you.
So Phil.
And Phil is our resident veteran on this program. So
Let's go. Salute the troops. Thank you for your service.
Thanks for the support.
Fuck the troops, man.
D-
They're all pigs.
disavow Gamma. Disavow.
He just
Yeah.
is it me? I mean, seriously, is it me or does Nick Fuentes look like he looks like somebody that would like stalk the fucking airline fucking girls on the flight or whatever. Like should they be nice? He looks like the type of guy that would like you know how the stewardesses are all nice to you or whatever. Would you like some
Mhm.
extra? Would you like some extra peanuts or whatever? And then
Mhm.
he'd be the guy that's like, oh, she's the one for me. Oh, and then fucking try to
Yeah.
he'll be like
Yeah, he's
looking up
he's the
her
type to
fucking
get to get banned, to get put on the no-fly list for grabbing one too many stewardesses' asses and taking pictures up their skirts and shit. Like it's happened like a dozen times. Incidents where he's like follow them into the fucking.
And he looks like the kind of guy that would like stalk her Facebook and shit and all the personal information and then send flowers at all the weird times and shit. Like,
take flights to nowhere when he finds out her schedule, just to make sure he's.
I was on 80 different flights and I still couldn't find her.
My frequent flyer miles are so high right now, guys. You have no idea.
Sorry, I mean, look, I'm just saying, maybe Nick Fuentes is right. Maybe he's on the no-fly list. Maybe he's all that.
Maybe he's
Look,
retarded and a rapist, though.
Or maybe he's just a really weird person, and maybe he shouldn't be flying planes. That's all I'm saying. All of those are legitimate possibilities.
Mhm.
I will say, even though he's grown on me, I think he can be a valuable ally.
Cancer.
I think he did some gay shit at some point. in his
Sean,
life.
I
get
think
those vibes.
I
Gavin's right on that.
Who Nick?
And I have nothing against the gays, but Nick, his speaking out against homosexuals is a little odd. I disagree with it.
I don't
What
see
did,
him.
what did y'all think of the Cami date? The 12-hour date?
Ooh.
the,
Yeah, let's talk about that.
weird.
yeah, the Catboy Cammy thing.
Yeah.
Yo, it was
Yeah, I don't-
weird. Okay. Hot take.
He's never I've never seen him around with any females of any kind, like whatsoever.
Yeah, the Groypers need to
It
get
feels like
laid.
he's probably he probably went to he became gay after like years of rejection. It's probably one of those types. You know, you get some gays that are like, you know, biologically like, look, I'm just a different person. Or like you get some people like, yeah, this is somebody that's probably gotten rejected at every fucking level in life. And it's like, you know what? Screw you guys. I'm gonna like guys now.
Well, I here's the thing though. Of all the Groypers, he's the best looking. He could get chicks. He's got the charisma. He could do it. He could do it. I don't know why he isn't doing it,
No,
but he
that's
could
a
do
little-
it.
Whoa. You gay, bro?
No.
He's not bad looking.
Hey,
That's real over.
I'm using objective standards.
Sean, how
Objective.
how could you? I thought we had something special, bro. I thought we had something
Sam.
special, bro.
Sam,
Yeah, he called it this thing of ours.
Sam, we'll talk
This-
after
this
the
is
show. We'll deal with it off air. Don't bring personal matters out into the open like that.
The Apex Sammy and Sean love triangle. Let's go. So
We have room for a third.
No, nigga, I'm the one filming and taking in all the money.
We have room for
Y'all do what
4
you
or
want.
5 if you really want.
He just comes off as really like he just comes off as really angry all the time too. He's like that like the mannerisms speak like I haven't gotten laid like ever. And maybe the hint of vagina might calm me down just a little bit.
Yeah, maybe he wouldn't be on this no-fly list if he got laid every now and then.
Yeah.
Well, even
Yeah.
Gavin had the funniest speech at like one of these CPAC after parties where he's like, you know, we have like the conservative here, the Republicans, trad people, we have the Groypers, and you know what, Groypers? I agree, Israel does get too much money, but you guys get too little pussy. And he just like went into this rant about like getting laid, you know, having fun in your youth, building a family. And I was like, that's one thing that's so true about a lot of these trad people is that they're not very trad, and that's something Nick should take him up on. Get a lady, go out on some dates, put some pizza together.
The only legit trad wife I know is in my community, and that would be Sunny from the Interest of Stuff live stream slash podcast. So
What are you being serious? Doesn't she have like a sailor's mouth and heavy drinker?
I mean, I didn't say she's perfect, but she is. I'm saying she's a trad wife compared to all these other posers. So she's more of a trad wife than Lauren Southern, who, when you posted her pic the other
She's a thought.
day, I thought you were posting like a picture. You might as well have posted a picture of Branded Love or something like that at that point. So
Oh, is that in the Titfield report?
yeah. I can't show on stream, but let me go.
Sam, if you rename your show to that, your sub count would just double magically in a few days, and I don't know why it would, but it just would.
Because people like tits, man. Even Oso de American,
shit.
the gay.
I'm gonna take my leave now.
No.
Have a great evening.
Oh, do we have a
No.
new challenger?
The impromptu debate is about to begin. Later, niggas.
Yeah, what should we debate about? What's grinding our gears? What's something that can
Do we have an
be
introduction?
bloody?
I don't think I've met this person yet.
I don't think I've even met.
Oh, do we all need to tell our favorite colors, where we're from, our names? We can do that.
I mean, that's gonna have the icebreaker like a fucking Dr. Phil.
Improv games.
We
Dude,
have.
that's my biggest pet peeve is icebreakers. That term just irritates me, and what you do in them irritates me even more. It's like, oh guys, we're new here. Let's do an icebreaker. Yeah, what are we gonna do, kids? Oh, we're gonna do two truths and one lie. Oh yay! It's like, okay.
That's human resources, so they can do busy work. I'm pretty sure.
That
So I can call it work hours.
That is human resources. So,
should we do the IQ debate? Should we start off hot and spicy with
Oh,
How do you consider the debate a success since Apex left?
that? Throwing some shade there early on.
Well, I'd like to get I'd like to hear what Faggot Bear has to say about the Nick Fuentes no fly thing.
You're calling me in as an expert witness on sodomy? Is that what's happening?
Dude, somebody give this man a sub.
On a side
note, go ahead.
On a side note, you see Stephen Miller started a defense fund or whatever?
Yeah, dude, that thing is so cool. Let's go.
He should. I mean, I think he's trying to raise money for the wrong efforts, though. Honestly, I think if he started a fund that would give groypers at least one free rub and tug at a massage parlor, I think that would help out immensely. Because a lot of these.
Why don't they just own the Patriots?
What? Oh, well, they're trying to score. They're trying to actually score here. That's the goal. If you own the Patriots, you're probably not going to score. Have you seen them last year? Holy God!
Have you seen that woman that gave Robert Kraft the rub and tug? I like it. If you're a billionaire,
I mean, come on.
know what you're doing.
You got to make some sacrifices if you're a groyper. Okay, you can't. You're thinking that they think they're just going to walk right up to the fucking bell of the ball. That's not happening, right?
Okay, just out of curiosity, how many rub and tugs do you think are run by cat boys?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Look, money talks.
We're talking
okay?
really niche businesses.
Money talks. I get what you're saying. You're not wrong, but I'm saying money talks, all right?
I'm the proprietor of a cat boy rub and tug. Yeah, all right. That's like a worse business model than Bertaria, but okay.
Look, I'm not saying that it's, I'm not saying that it's maybe legal or anything like that, but I'm saying if it gets somebody to the, to the finish line, okay, no pun intended. then then maybe that would change their stuff a little bit. You got a lot of these dudes. So a lot of these groypers are like very
Short.
frustrated, right?
Sure.
There's a lot of internal frustration going on in there. Maybe
Well, yeah,
That's
they're
how you
short.
become
You
a
know?
fucking groiper. Yes.
that's
Like
that's
you don't get that way because shit's going well in your life. You're not like, all right,
Yeah.
let's good
So-
job, check. Hot wife, check. Oh, let's say, oh hey, Nick Fuentes. No. That's not how shit works.
So look, like give them a little bit of joy. Make a
It's
fun.
like being into Vox Day. Like you have to be divorced at least once before that shit starts to make sense to you. Like yeah.
Just get a rub and tug from a fucking a tranny that's missing teeth. Look, you could work. It could work. Okay, you just get to the finish line, and I think at least a couple of these people will be somewhat saved.
I mean,
You know what's funny is
they
actually.
bust their nut like, what the fuck am I doing with myself? Jesus.
Well, you
I
know
look
what's
silly
fun-
here.
What's funny is that Nick would probably actually agree with us because he hates his fans, like unironically. Like when I watch his show or I listen to his call-in show on Fridays, he just hates his fans. Like when they super chat him, they ask like stupid questions. He just like gets angry. He's like, "Arr, not again."
Yeah, I
So-
mean that's part and parcel of the grifter vocation. All these
Look at Owen.
You
demagogues
think
hate
Nick's a
their
grifter?
audiences.
Wait.
Or
Nick
Oh
is
yeah.
great.
Or maybe Nick Fuentes can get a dude hander or something. I don't know. Like I don't.
Okay,
I think
no, you don't know anything
say a
about gay
lot
sex, and that's
Nick.
part of your problem. No, no gay dude stops at a handy. Get the fuck out of here.
No, I'm
How do you know?
saying that the
How do you know?
possibilities, it could start as a handy and then maybe it'll work, with something else. I don't know. I don't know. Look,
also Demericon little means gay F bear in Spanish. And that's like
You're going to say fuck?
no, I was gonna say the other word. I was gonna say the
Oh, you mean the other F word?
yes, the one that Susan Wojcicki will certainly ban me for
The
saying.
cigarette word?
Yes.
Well, no, I don't think you shouldn't say that word out of like because it's hateful or anything like that. Hell, it's one of my favorite words, but you shouldn't say it because it makes you sound like fucking Davy Crocco.
I say I say it all the time because it's one of my favorite words. Just to like, it's in one of my favorite Dire Straits. I mean, it's in Money for Nothing. So
Good song.
but
Somebody should make a song called Grifter. That's such an overused word. I feel like it will become a song.
like I think in order for any groiper to be a part of the national conversation, they have to be laid at least once. That is the requirement.
I actually agree. Like unironically,
If you want to participate in this intellectual discussion, you at least need to have vagina at least once in your life. That's
see, I think a lot of these people, if we just bully them enough, we'll get them in the right direction. It's like they have the right ideas in some ways, tradition.
No.
family.
They'll think they're right. They have this persecution complex where if they think that if someone is making fun of them, that means they're over the target or some dumb bullshit like that. The lesson will never sink in. Nope, that's been tried.
I think they're the type if you're nice to them, you're like, hey, I think you should lay off on the racial stuff a bit. Maybe not gay bash a lot. They're just gonna be like, fuck you. But if you like bully them into it, then they'll listen. Then they'll obey.
When have you seen that work?
Well, nobody bullies them. That's the problem.
I
It's-
mean,
if you have to be a conservative.
Well, I mean that's kind of what we do, isn't it? On the GSK subreddit.
I mean, I bully them all the time, and I'm supposedly on their side. I carpet bomb their discords with
if
Playboy
you bully somebody and
centerfolds.
they're not watching, it doesn't matter. Like if you're bullying somebody and they don't see it, then they're
Exactly.
doesn't
Well, that's what I'm
matter.
saying. It's like I've noticed that like if you want somebody to go in a certain direction, because I think these kids have some potential. Honestly, it's just they need to get laid, and I think Gavin had the right approach. Just bully them right in front of their faces at a giant after party. That's what he did. And maybe maybe they listened a little. I don't know. I've heard rumors about who some of these people may have slept with, but I don't I don't have any confirmation.
No, we need the where's the drunken abusive father when you need him, right? Just where's that guy? The
Well-
one that's like, oh, you're not getting laid again. Here, let me take my belt off. You're getting a belting.
Well,
Like,
that's where Owen Benjamin comes in, but he's yeah.
no, I mean that's does he? Are you sure he spanks his kids or whatever?
Well, I could make a joke, but it's gonna turn super
Yeah.
dark.
He looks like he's too weird to fucking do that sort of shit.
Yeah, I think he's more of a neglectful type.
That's right. That's what I'm thinking. He's probably too busy finding some fucking weird shit or whatever.
He's already been visited by CPS. I mean,
his old lady's probably like, see, look, your son just got an F on his report card. Like, shut up. I'm trying to fucking give a report on Bigfoot in my fucking woods or whatever. Like, no.
jerk off to lightning.
Yeah.
I would actually did climb that once. That is one thing I wanted to ask.
Take a drink. Take a drink.
That is one thing I wanted to ask you about. Milo's intervention with said.
I think he's doing God's work. Need to fix someone, save him.
I think Milo figured out, as we all did, that Owen is a lost cause. So.
Did he? I didn't see the full thing actually.
Week, I thought
it was Owen's reaction afterwards that was particularly telling, and I know that, and I know
sure he wasn't joking.
Trust me, there are things that I thought that guy was joking about that he wasn't joking out, but anyway.
Bruh. On Wikipedia, it says after being banned from YouTube, Owen Benjamin started streaming on D Live. As of November 2020, Owen Benjamin and Nick Fuentes were the two highest earners on the site. No wonder why they banned them. That's so funny. Imagine you have a website, you start this like Twitch alternative, and you're like, yeah, it's gonna be fun, guys. We got PewDiePie on here. And who turns out to be your biggest earner? Owen Benjamin.
Oh, jeez, man.
Owen the moon landing's fake Benjamin. That's funny. Do we want to do the who is a grifter debate?
Yes.
I know that was causing some lightning last time.
Yes.
Do you think Owen's a grifter?
I think.
Oh yeah, he definitely is.
I think we can all agree that Owen's a grifter. That one's easy.
That's grifter spotting for beginners.
If he's a grifter, then why isn't he in anything like big or successful? Because don't grifters usually kind of play the game and get into more mainstream things or safer things?
Well, one, he's retarded. Two, no one said he was any good at it. But
So
you're trying. If you're grifting, you're trying to move into a direction that's like more beneficial to you. Like,
right.
I don't see. He just keeps getting weirder and weirder. I don't really call that grifting.
well, what about the whole land deal thing? I mean, that's the biggest giveaway there.
Land deal? What's that?
The Bertaria land deal, where he told his people he was going to buy 10 acres of land, and he was going to set up some kind of campground. At one point, he was saying that it was going to be a place they could live when society crumbled. But he raised how much was it? I think it was $250,000 he raised.
Yeah.
And he wound up buying the land, but he crawfished him. He didn't let him stay there. He's not letting him camp there. He's not giving them anything for his money.
He definitely is a con man.
That's also not the first time he's done that either. He's sold them a bunch of shit and then not delivered on the actual physical product. That's none dare call that a grift if you agree with the dumb conspiratard bullshit he says.
Yeah. I mean, he is the he was one of the weirdest of the weird. And people say, yeah, and it's funny that people still buy his bullshit. Like it's like, hey, I got this next idea. I bet he's like a great Avon salesman. Like, look,
he probably
I got this leather perfume, man. You got to fucking buy it. Like, okay.
It's only $19.99.
His wife was a Lularu. Apologies to the women in the chat. I have no Lularu. Lularu.
LuLaRoe. I think it's called LuLaRoe.
Yeah, thank
Gay
you.
expert on the topic here. It's LuLaRoe. Yeah.
However you say that. I'm too
LuLaRoe.
straight to be able to pronounce that properly.
What is a fucking LuLaRoe?
It's a multi-level marketing scam. Yeah.
Oh,
Cutco.
yeah. Okay,
Cutco, yeah.
Yeah.
We know. Oh, do we all agree that Cutco's a MLA marketing scam?
I probably don't even know what Cutco is.
Oh, well, we should educate.
That's oldie
the
timey.
people.
That's like from the 50s and shit, isn't it?
No, it's
No. This is a modern phenomenon. They literally like they leech off of like poor ass college kids, in-debt college kids, and they're like, hey, you wanna like make a lot of money over the summer? Go sell knives and get your friends to do it too. You'll make even more money if you do that.
No, this is old. This is definitely old. They've gotten returning Mormon missionaries to do this shit for forever, but they might be expanding beyond.
They were
like
founded in
LDS, but
1949. Wow.
There you go. Yeah.
They set the record as the longest running scam.
Yeah, and like Mormons love falling for multi-level marketing scams.
Oh, it's a Mormon thing. I knew it. Makes sense.
Well, no, Mormons. It's not Mormon thing. Mormons are just the easy target.
Oh, it could be both. It could be both. We know people
Yeah,
that are
because
not
similar to
Mormons, too.
conservative pay pigs, if you just tell them the shit they want to hear, they'll do whatever the fuck you want.
Oh, you mean like liberal pay pigs will do the same thing, right?
Yes, pay pigs in general, yes, but there's it's easier to get the conservatives to part with their money because they have it.
Yeah, because we're successful generally.
I mean,
so
you have 11 viewers right now, Sam.
13, and I'll get.
Oh, my bad.
And I'll get like 500, 600 downloads on audio. So yeah, I haven't sold out well enough. So
here, what defines a grifter? What is the simple definition that we could all go by?
This goes into.
Well, I gave you the definition last week, didn't I? I
That
gave
was
you
an
links and everything.
essay.
You didn't want to.
That was an essay. I need a dictionary sentence definition.
So someone that doesn't. Oh, do you want me to do it, or you want him to?
Yeah, you can pitch in.
So it's someone who wants to gain money out of a movement that they don't care about.
I was gonna say it's somebody that only cares about money and or fame. You know, that's all they care about. That's all they're doing it for.
somebody who says they stand for something particularly, but is willing to change that particular thing for pleasure, profit, or personal safety.
That's too. Oh shit! Did you come up with that yourself? Like that sounds like it's right out of the dictionary.
So
I just came.
That's pretty good.
So all of Hollywood basically, then.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, they're whores. Like Hollywood's whores. Like they came in. They came in available to anything and anyone. Like they're not like really grifters because you have to actually stand for something at first to be able to. Like no Hollywood, they don't stand. They stand for they've always stood for the next part or the almighty dollar or whatever. Like that's not necessarily grifting. Grifting would require somebody to say that they're X and they stand for X and they're that X to the max, and then whenever something more beneficial to them comes along, then they start adopting that particular thing.
But yeah, those are all definitely part of the three answers y'all gave. All definitely make up what a grifter is for sure. But at the end of the day, it is what the dictionary definition is. They're just They're con men.
Yeah.
They're crooks. They're swindlers.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to put it in just a few words. But yeah, it definitely all those attributes y'all listed. That's definitely a part of the type of grifter that we're talking about. Because anybody could be a con man. I know I had a conversation with Sam one time. I think one of the first times I've talked to him, and he was asking me, "Well, what about politicians?" And I told him, well, all politicians are grifters. So
Mhm.
I mean, there's a lot of different different subcategories of these grifters, but the ones that we're talking about right now, I mean, this is what we're talking. They're crooks, but they constantly change their identity. They constantly have this dire cause that you need to be a part of, and you need to help support. This is all part of what we're talking about.
I have to ask because you said Gavin was a grifter last time. Gavin McGinnis. How is he a grifter?
Well, he's
Are you
the
familiar with
same
his
way.
legal defense fund?
Yeah, he's the same way. He's got a lot of these shady things going on. He has his dire cause. He's fighting for whatever it might be. If he's fighting for your freedom of speech, he's fighting. Well, look at the name of his damn platform is called Censored TV. He's all about
Well, he has been
freedom of speech.
censored.
Yeah, but because he's an idiot. That's where we're at the beginning
No,
of
it's
this
because
show.
okay. People don't get put on no-fly list because they're idiots. They don't get censored because they're idiots.
Is he on
No,
the no-fly list?
these people do.
No, they don't.
Is he on the no-fly list?
No, but
No.
my
There
point
we
is his
go.
logic
Okay.
is like whenever
I just want to make
somebody.
that abundantly clear. That just because one grifter is on the no-fly list doesn't mean like that we're on the slippery slope where everybody is. Thank you.
I will.
No, but Gavin wasn't banned from YouTube because he's an idiot. It's because YouTube
But he's
has a
still
bias
on
against
YouTube.
conservatives.
That's the other
You can
thing.
go on
All of
YouTube
these
right now
fools
and
are.
find him.
Yeah, that's
Gavin's
where I
on
last saw
YouTube.
him. Yes, he is.
His official
Yeah,
channel's been banned.
Yeah, people.
But he's still there. It's just
Oh
like
no,
Owen
he's
Benjamin.
demonetized. Boo fucking who?
No,
Like,
his official channel isn't there.
Yeah.
okay.
Then he is censored. He's not on Twitter anymore.
No,
Yeah,
that's not what censorship is. His message is still on YouTube.
No, it's not. Can you find his Joe Rogan
my
episode
God.
on YouTube? Can you
Probably,
find?
but I'll find
his
you
full
Gavin
channel on
McGinnis on YouTube.
No, can you find this? I'll try and find it right now.
Can
you find his Twitter account?
This is the Whitfield Report Blood Sports edition that we've all.
No,
Before it
actually,
gets
it's not
good,
because people are
man.
actually looking for factual like information in the midst of it, and yeah.
Yeah,
It
let's
doesn't
see.
qualify.
Gavin McGinnis. Channels. Oh yeah, it's
Wait, are you
not
going for
here.
channels now? Because you just said you were going to look for his Rogan episode.
Yeah, it's not there either.
Okay.
And his channel. I said he's been censored. Like he's clearly been censored.
By who? By YouTube? I don't give a fuck.
Why?
And
They're
it's
silencing
not
people that represent us.
Because your right to be monetized on fucking YouTube is not a
It's not
constitutional right,
monetization.
and I don't give a
He's
shit if they want to
off the
kick off everybody
platform.
to the left of to the right of Lindsey Graham. I don't give a shit. Then
You
find
don't
a different.
care if
I'll go
people
on
are getting
BitChute. I don't
censored
care.
on the
Is he on
internet for their
BitChute?
political
Has he been thrown
views.
in
'cause-
jail?
Well, not yet. Roger Stone
Oh
wants
no!
to.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely gonna happen. Yeah. Oh yeah, they're coming.
They put Proud Boys in jail for
okay,
self-defense.
All right, look at what's going on in China. Do you think that that is something that could happen in the U.S. with the social credit system and the police? Because we've already done a lot of the social credit stuff, like we were talking about earlier, with the no-fly list. Like that's been a part of the Chinese social credit system.
It already
Are you
is.
okay
Do you
with
know how
what they
much
do over
information
there?
Experian has about you?
Well, yeah, but that's completely different. That's actually a credit score that you get from, experience stuff. Like that makes sense. But this stuff that they do in China, it's not like, oh, your experience score. It's more like, oh, this is your score for, like if you're friends with the wrong people, they'll give you a detriment. Are you okay with that?
You don't think Experian will do that?
They don't care. I know how to get my credit score up. I did it. I rebuilt my credit score. I have like 800 now.
You can't do that when you're banned from YouTube or Twitter. You don't even know why
You
you're
can't
banned.
increase your credit score when you're banned from YouTube.
What?
Did you just say you can't increase your credit score when you're banned from YouTube?
No, I'm saying if you're gonna compare us to a credit score, if a credit score you can improve it. When you're banned from YouTube, you're done. You don't come back. You're
You could
permanently
improve your
banned.
social credit score in China too. I'm sure you can.
Yeah, you have to
It's
go
the-
and suck off Xi Jinping to get increased that credit score. You have to go and do stuff like that. Just praise a communist party.
Yeah, you have to go to a labor camp for a good 2 years, maybe 20. You know.
Yeah,
Have you been to China?
Okay.
No, I
Oh
knew
yeah,
Communist
No, but I do
yeah,
have
I would love
a
to go to China. It's
I-
gonna be real fun. I mean,
I do
they'll
have
let
a-
me ride in the streets freely.
I do have a Chinese medical. I do Chinese acupuncture though. So
So are we gonna have another Hunter Avalon situation here? Like,
Yeah,
are we?
yeah.
Can we at least agree that YouTube is censoring conservatives
I've never-
with a strong
No,
bias?
because look, I'm looking. Gavin's "Get Off My Lawn" episodes are still current on YouTube. I'm looking at him right now. He's not censored from YouTube. He might
His
not have a channel
has
there
been
personally,
banned.
but he is still on YouTube. It's the same as
No,
as
it's
Owen
not.
Benjamin. They
Oh,
are still
come
on YouTube
on.
on various
Come
forms,
on.
in the form of mirror channels, in the form of clip channels,
Oh.
and in Owen's case, he has a damn channel there again. He has a channel that he personally
as a
streams on
person
every
has
day.
been censored.
Oh.
Gavin can't go on YouTube and upload whatever the fuck he wants. That's
Well,
Oh my god, that's terrible.
I think that
Definitely
Yeah,
the
that is
downfall of the
terrible.
West.
I think that
yeah, this is how we kind of start losing elections.
I think
Oh no,
President Trump was
No.
banned from Twitter.
not elections.
even
All right.
Even-
if that's the country you want, you can have it.
even the president
Right.
of Mexico admitted that the Trump's banning from Twitter was problematic, to use one
Yeah,
of
because they're worried it sets a dangerous precedent. You ban
Well,
the
I mean,
sitting
Not
president
only
at
that,
the time.
I mean, the pendulum will always swing the other way. It always tends to swing the other way. When it goes into one direction, it'll eventually swing to the course of whatever's most beneficial to whoever owns the pendulum. So like YouTube, right? It's going to be, I mean, who's to say that it doesn't start targeting liberals down the road? Like,
I hope
who's
it
to say-
does. Good.
What happens when it targets? Well, you're fine. Wait. Why are you good with that? Because I'm good with it probably for a different reason. But why are you good with that?
I'm not. I
no,
mean,
I was saying the guy.
yeah,
I
also.
didn't know who was talking, but they said it was good.
Oh no, I think it would be good. Go ahead. Ban that. Like if you have rules, then apply them to everybody, and then everybody can whine all the time
Yeah, but
and think that it's their constitutional right to be monetized on fucking YouTube. Like
It's
Crowder.
not monetization. It's being able to have a freaking account.
Okay, he just showed you that Gavin's still allowed
No,
through
he's
various means to
not.
be on YouTube, and if they're
Dude,
not
Yeah,
banning him
and I
entirely,
think- I
then
think we're
really
getting. We need to
talking about
define.
monetization. And
Dude,
I don't give a fuck.
Gavin
Like I
does
really
not.
don't give a shit about these people and their
So-
super chats. I'm sorry, it's not a
We-
conservative thing.
It's
It's not a
not-
liberal thing.
it's
It's not
not
a
about
fucking free
super
speech thing.
chats.
Like,
It's
it-
We
about
need
it's
to
about
come
the
to an
super chat
agreement
voice.
on what censorship is. That's
It's-
that's where we're having a misunderstanding. Gavin is not censored if his videos are still allowed on YouTube. That's not censorship. That's just
But
and given that his channel is
No,
banned
not.
itself,
Are his
that's
videos
just
even
lip
allowed?
service.
Or are people just bypassing the rules?
No,
They're
that's what I'm
fine.
saying. It's just lip service. Gavin himself
No.
getting his channel removed is the lip service. If his message is still on YouTube, he is not censored.
All right,
Yeah,
but
he
they're
is, because
letting
not
him-
everything's on there. He can't put whatever he wants on there.
Well, it's even worse because
He doesn't have that right. He doesn't have the right to put whatever he wants on there. But he is not censored, given that his videos are still on YouTube.
Here, you want a better example? Alex Jones. There was an interview he
know-
did
I
with
see a lot of Alex Jones on YouTube also.
No. Listen, he
Yeah,
did an interview with a comedian on there, and that got pulled down because
You're not talking
Alex
about
Jones was-
ROTC, are you? Mersh is not a comedian.
No, it's this
No.
dude that's in Florida actually. I forget his name. I can
Yeah, that's the idiot, Mersh.
Mersh.
Okay, why do you care if people are idiots? Like, why is that?
Yeah, why is that your
Oh,
big
this
breaking
person's
point?
stupid. This person's stupid. You know what?
Uh,
You know, they like people.
I
Probably,
I don't care. I mean, they have that right to be stupid. Are you the
you know,
are you the
Well,
idiot
you're saying
defender?
that-
Or?
it's just
Okay, can we agree if there are really complex terms of service that have a whole lot of complex rules, then you might need a little bit of
Here's the-
intellect in order to figure out know what you can and cannot say. And if you're a fucking moron, you might be more likely to get banned.
it's not even that they're complex. It's that they're not like set in stone. They're not. You know,
They're
you can have
vague.
complex legal
So they're
documents.
complex.
So here's the definition of censorship: the suppression or prohibition of any parts of books, films, news, etc., that are considered obscene, politically unacceptable, or a threat to security.
Yeah, that's Alex Jones and every conservative that's been censored. Yep.
Can we at least all admit that YouTube has banned some ridiculously dumb shit that shouldn't be banned? Like among all fronts,
%1,000,000%.
basically.
I can't think of any examples, but sure.
Yeah.
Does anybody think Alex Jones should have been banned from YouTube?
I feel like
I don't
it's okay
care.
if
Like-
it's okay. Like for me, it's okay if YouTube has rules or terms of service or whatever, but they have to
Right.
be but they really need to be applied equally. Like if you
Yes.
either apply them equally or don't have any terms of service at all. Like that's your, you know, that's a stand. Like, and the one of the recent terms of service that bother me is something that they have the right to remove anything that they feel is not commercially viable. Well,
That's
I
us.
mean, well, what's commercially viable, right? I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of subjective terms in there, subjectively vague terms that can be can be construed in multiple ways. And I mean, if you give some of these, like, you know, Bay Area liberals the ability to frickin', you know, if you're going to let them be the arbitrators, then of course they're probably going to lean in a particular political direction.
Oh, they lean
Whereas-
hard in that direction.
Right. Yeah, but I'm
And-
saying
I think what's important is, like, I hear one guy saying he doesn't care about that. I think we should all care about this,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, of course we should care, because the pendulum will always swing the other way. I mean, it always tends to swing the other way.
Can you have
Changes-
free speech without YouTube?
Yeah. Yes, but here's the other problem though too. So I'm glad you brought that up. YouTube is a major corporation. They're pretty much like I mean they're a global multinational corporation.
See, I don't like the ability. Good thing you brought that up, Sam. I don't like how people call the social media like these private companies. I don't consider them private companies. These are publicly
Yes.
traded corporations with
Yes.
government subsidies that are used for governmental purposes. Like
And they're
all of them,
oligopolies.
each of them have
How
government
much
accounts
government
and all that
subsidies did Twitter get?
stuff. Let me see.
I'm gonna need a
Let me
source on
pull-
that one.
Let me. I'd have to.
Yeah,
pull
I'm
up
not saying it
I'd
didn't
have to
happen.
pull
I'm
up
just
the
saying I don't know
financials.
about it.
But they
More
have government
importantly,
accounts. But they have government accounts that publish government information on
That's
their account.
true.
So
Like Donald Trump, and they removed him.
And what percentage of the population is on Twitter?
A lot.
Really? You think
Probably
it's a? Can we look that up?
Bro, Twitter's like one of the biggest
Well, when you can-
platforms.
yeah,
It's about
I mean,
7%.
The biggest.
Facebook has over 2
Yeah,
billion.
well, we're just talking about Americans,
Facebook
right?
has a lot. Twitter doesn't.
Twitter has a lot.
They all have a lot.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, what do you... Why, and I have to ask more importantly, why don't you care about
ABC
prominent
is seen in
conservatives
what,
being
50% of households? Does everybody have a right to be on ABC?
What?
ABC is seen by 50% of households. Should ABC not have any editorial control over what goes on the air?
It's not
That's
user
a
generated.
false equivalency.
yeah, but that
That makes
yeah.
no
Okay.
sense.
Yeah,
Dude, I can't go on
social-
ABC. I can go on Twitter. They're two totally different things.
Okay, so just to answer that question somebody asked, it says that 22% of Americans say they use Twitter.
Yeah, it's a very big thing.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, look, people run their businesses on Twitter.
Oh,
People
no,
make their
wait, no,
earnings on Twitter and Facebook. I'm working for a company, two companies that are doing that right now. Like, they have become important parts of our lives. The internet, especially, should be considered a utility if it hasn't already, and should be given civil rights protections for access for people. But I don't understand why you don't care about these people being banned. When the sitting president's banned, when prominent conservatives are banned, why don't you care about this?
Because it doesn't affect my life in the slightest.
Okay, see, that's where
Yeah,
you're gonna
and that's
end
what
up.
that's what I tried to explain to you last week. It doesn't affect
It does
anybody.
affect
See,
It doesn't
these
affect
people.
anybody's life at the end of the day. Now, hold on, I got to correct myself because I'm seeing that it's saying only 7% of the population uses Twitter.
So
7%,
93%
just 7.
of people do not give a flying fuck whether you're banned on Twitter or not.
See though,
Uh, when
see,
you guys get banned, I will laugh. I will just say that.
Okay, great. I'll laugh too. You know why? Because I've never fucking I haven't tweeted in like 7 years or so. So if they ban me, it's going to be for who I follow. So it'll be like being blocked by Nick Fuentes.
Don't you think it's still wrong that the sitting president is banned from a platform where he can send
He's
his
not.
message out?
Look at Biden's account right now.
Okay,
No.
let's
I'm talking about Trump.
fucking retard.
I'm talking about Trump when he was
You
going
just said
to
the sitting president. Did you
well,
not?
at the time he was a
A
sitting
sitting
president.
president.
Oh, I got you.
He was a sitting president. That's what I said.
And,
at the time, he was a sitting president, and
rigged
he
the
was in
election
an
too,
impeachment
by the
trial,
way.
and
At the
Twitter took away
time, he
his
was the sitting
voice.
president. No, he still had his president account. They just took away his personal account.
No, they
No,
won't let
they
the
took-
president account.
Yeah, they deleted his tweets when he tried to post on the POTUS account. Like, you don't
Okay.
know what you're talking about. I mean, clearly, Twitter is silencing conservatives, and they're affecting elections.
Then don't go on fucking Twitter.
Well, that still does mean the elections aren't going to be affected. That just means you won't see it.
Have you heard of Social Galactic? You should try going on there.
Oh
I
gee,
heard there's some
oh
great-
gee.
And, and how are elections being affected if only 7% of the population uses it?
Everybody knows what Trump says on
Eh,
Twitter. They blast it on the news. It's
well,
everywhere.
No,
It's
and-
an
how are the
influential platform.
how are the elections being affected with that minor amount of the population?
Dude, first of all, I don't believe that statistic. Secondly, Twitter has been used to influence public opinion.
Okay,
It's
well,
been used for campaigning.
and-
Trump's
It's
campaign
not
team
just
account.
Twitter, and it's not just Twitter either. It's Twitter,
True.
Facebook.
Facebook.
It's like I mean, like Facebook is probably one of the most common used apps on the planet. Like for
Yeah.
businesses, political stuff, personal, whatever.
What if look at it this way too? What if Trump wants to run in 24, which he could? He can't tweet. He can't post on Facebook. He can't reach people that way. That's how modern campaigns are done. That's what Obama started and Trump revolutionized. That's a significant disadvantage. Laura Loomer, she doesn't have a Twitter account. She doesn't have an Uber. She doesn't have a Facebook. She can't do
Okay, now I'm
any of the
definitely in
things
favor
we
of
can do.
censorship
And
if
she
Laura
was
Loomer's
trying
off
to
of
run
it.
for Congress, and
mean-
she couldn't reach people as effectively as she could because she was banned on all those platforms.
I mean, Michael,
The district she was running in, do you think that she stood a chance even if she had every
Doesn't
platform known to man?
matter. It doesn't
Oh,
matter.
okay.
Bruh, she was. How was she at on an equal playing field to her opponent who had access to all those things too?
I mean, so Michael Tracy,
Well,
who
her
was
opponent
pretty
wasn't
far
incumbent,
left.
First of all, you what? What'd you
Michael
say?
Michael Tracy, who is pretty far to the left, wasn't. It has been banned off Twitter too. So
See,
When?
this
When
is
did that
what's
happen? I
happening.
didn't know that happened.
that happened
GSK
like
normally keeps me up on these things.
because GSK only pays attention to
Not
the
true.
right wing.
Wait, do you want
when
Twitter
was
deciding
Tracy
your
banned? Can you answer
elections?
my
Because that's
fucking
ultimately
question?
what they're doing. Do you want
When
Silicon
was
Valley
Tracy banned and what
elites
for? Can
deciding
someone
your
answer my question?
elections?
He was, I'm. Well, you said GSK doesn't inform you, so I'm just telling you that that's why. But he was banned.
Yeah, we've talked about Michael Tracy
Yeah,
before.
we follow the Tracy beat pretty closely, honestly. I'm kind of surprised to hear this. I haven't been on Twitter in a while though.
I mean, he
I'm
might.
one of the 93%.
I mean, he might have been reinstated. But I know he's.
There we go. Okay.
I still though he was banned at one point. I know he's banned for talking shit about the Syria bombing when Trump drops bombs on Syria and what's his face?
Here's another thing I think that's important with the text censorship too. When I tried to share a censor.tv link on Facebook, it wouldn't let me do it. This happened about a year or so ago. Facebook and these other big tech companies aren't just censoring people. They're censoring literally websites, places you cannot even share on Facebook. They also
Shit, I
censored
can't
the
see
Hunter
paywalled
Biden
rage porn on
story.
Facebook? Damn.
What?
I can't see paywalled rage porn on Facebook anymore? What's this country coming to?
Oh, you couldn't even share the Hunter Biden story too. Every social media major like Twitter, Facebook, they didn't let you share the story. That's directly affecting elections.
Oh, so I want to see your rage porn. That's what I.
Oh, I'm doing it right now.
I want.
It's just dudes who are under 300 pounds.
Yeah, and you rage on them, right?
Yeah, eat something.
Yeah. Let's see.
So what should we do? IQ next?
I
see the text censorship was successful.
I
'cause
think-
we debated that I think IQ is the closest we can get to a standard measurement of intelligence, and Scorpio said not. Does anybody agree or disagree?
I think that IQ is part of the
Definition, and it wasn't. That's what we talked about last week.
Well, yeah, I'd like to go and see what other methods that could be used for measuring intelligence are better than the IQ.
Well, I would posit being able to maintain a YouTube channel.
Oh, so that's okay. So that's measure of intelligence. Okay.
I think right-wing death squads are a measurement of intelligence.
Yeah, that seems.
Apex says kill the stream. No, bro. You come
No,
back.
You come back.
You come
Why-
back here.
Not when I hear this, is he a pussy?
Yeah, man. Why do you want us censored?
We're
I want to take us down.
Apex. We're not killing the stream. You come back in here. So you actually. I gotta call Apex real quick. He ran away from the stream when Scorpio came on last week. So
Yeah, he didn't want any part of that cringe intervention.
like
Mellow for Life in our chat says these guys debate worse than the people who think there are 1,000 genders. Boo. I don't know who she's talking about, but I would never say there are 1,000 genders.
Oh,
I'd say
who-
there are
Well,
60
and it
million.
wasn't supposed to be a debate either because somebody dropped the ball on that one.
I-
There's no.
Whoa, shade.
I said it. I said this was supposed to be a discussion. So
Okay,
That's
the
a
one debate I
feisty
wanted to have was with
discussion.
Kat, and it was on the topic of should people who live in their car spend their few funds on shitty weed, and she
No.
and I could not come to terms on whether that debate should happen because she wanted to add the stipulation that she would not debate any psyops, and anything she doesn't like is a fucking psyop. So a debate would be impossible. But the one person I really wanted to debate was fucking Kat living in her car with plastic aliens.
okay, well. Also, you can't debate those people though, because they're not even on the same planet, bro. That's like me trying to debate Stephen Hawking on who is the better wheelchair guy.
Well, how shitty is the weed too?
Well, he's dead. I think he'd win by default.
Yeah, you would win that. You would win that fight. Sam.
Okay, well,
Apex is back.
well,
Maybe he made, like,
theoretically, if he were alive, so
Well, I
And
think even with all your stuttering, you could outspeak him for sure.
I don't.
He talks like a robot.
He talks
I
like
don't.
Stephen
I don't
Hawking.
stutter, motherfucker, most of the time. So
I can fix that if need be.
I know
Get
you
out of here,
can, Sean.
Dexter.
Son, let's have a talk. We'll fix that real quick.
I thought I
Uh,
warned you about handing me a warm beer, boy.
This isn't Britain, god damn it. We drink cold here. What do we want to discuss
You
then?
don't need to drink.
I said we as a country, but excluding myself.
one thing I've wanted to discuss, and even you and I have disagreed on this, Sean. So this should be fun. Is Milo straight, or is he?
Yes, ish. He's getting there.
No.
Well, wait. Actually, let me actually before I give an answer, in his behaviors, or
What are you talking about? What the fuck you
Oh.
mean straight in his behavior?
because you could be.
Dick in his ass.
Let me put it this way, because
He
this will make
crawled
more
back into the
sense.
closet.
You can be gay, and I know this is weird, but there are people that do this. You could be gay and not do gay things. Like you can have attractions to men, but you don't act upon them.
Yeah, there.
What are you
You
telling us,
can have
Dex?
attractions to women and not act on them either, and it's called.
Yeah, what are you
Yeah,
telling us here,
incel.
Dex?
Yeah, no. You can have it. You can be attracted to women, but not act on them. That's called being a
And
groiper. Okay.
groiper.
I said incel, but yeah, you got it. Well, like, think of it this way: if let's say Milo, let's say he marries a woman and he sleeps with a woman for the rest of his life, is he still gay?
He's bisexual. Well, I guess
Well,
he
yeah,
would be
he's
gay.
not
Are you talking
bi.
about Owen?
Yeah, time out. Let's all just pretend that the idea of bisexuals haven't existed since like as long as recorded history, as far as I'm aware. And someone can't grift one way or the other. What's more appealing than a fucking hardcore conservative homosexual? In the internet sphere, you all love him. You make excuses for the things you pretend to hate because he stands for the things you stand for politically. Not you guys specifically, although kind of, but
Yeah.
just in general. So now all of a sudden, he's flipping the script. He's he's changing the fucking he's changing the game, man. It's what
So you think he's
grifters
a
fucking do.
Thing.
Fuck, are you fucking kidding me? It's
Just
not that he's not
pretend to be
funny.
gay.
It's not that he's not funny. He's definitely funnier than Owen. I give him that. But
Really low hurdle to leap there.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
how that-
yeah, obviously,
so
obviously,
fucking
very,
high.
very, very low hurdle. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that seems obvious to me.
So do you know that he actually threw his wedding ring into the ocean recently?
Yes.
Oh, so he literally did a Titanic, like where
Yeah, it
the
was
old
fun.
lady
God.
jumped. Oh, Jesus.
And I'm going to assume there was at least 2 camera angles of this.
Yeah.
I
And-
could just hear,
Yeah, it's
hear
on- yeah.
Celine Dion.
It's on
singing
video.
in the
And
background.
dude, that's kind of my point. That's pretty fucking gay to like film you.
You do have a valid counter argument there.
to film like a real man would just throw there, and I know this because a friend of mine, like, you know,
You
his
remember go to the fucking pawn shop
his-
and
No, you pawn it off and spend the money trying to get some other piece of ass. That's
yeah
that's the policy.
buy a
yeah
bottle of liquor.
a real straight man would do what my friend did, which is to throw their ring into the bay, scream like for 10 seconds, and then go have a beer with the rest of us. So
I mean, he had wine beforehand, so he kind of did in reverse. But
Still
I
gay.
believe he is trying.
Wine, too. Oh boy.
Oh
Wine.
god, I'm pulling up the video for him where he's throwing the wedding ring into the ocean, and I'm literally getting an ad for a wedding ring. That's amazing.
There you go.
Let me see,
But I think he's serious about it
Wait,
because
shit. Does that mean every vendor who doesn't sell wedding rings is being censored by YouTube?
I don't know what to say to that.
Osa's
Is that like a
just being
PG laugh?
snarky at this point. You know why?
Yeah.
You know why Ozo's
'Cause
being
we wanted to
snarky?
make- yeah.
Because he's gay.
Ooh, burn.
Oh,
No,
I know
what
that.
what the fuck do you mean burn? It's the best.
I wasn't.
That
I
was
was.
a joke.
I
That was just a
wasn't.
joke.
I wasn't trying to burn him either. I was just saying.
Still hit a nerve.
So
Contrary to popular belief, I came in here on Scorps and homosexual bears side. That was
A
the whole point for me
homosexual
being here.
bear is.
Yes,
Fuck.
I agree with Apex. That's how dumb everybody else is.
It's not just called a bear at that point.
It's called a wolf.
Well, it's not like the gay dudes with the fucking.
Wait, do you
Ouch,
not
dude.
know what a gay bear is? Like, Jesus Christ. Owen's so bad at his job.
What a gay.
You
Isn't
know,
that-
I have hold on. I have an admission to make, mostly to Oso here, but for everyone listening, and especially everyone in the chat. I live in a highly Hispanic area, and I have met more than 2 Rottweilers named Oso, and I only know their name because of you, Oso. Even though I grew up in a Hispanic area, I didn't know the fucking name for bears, dude. Come on, like, hi, where's the bathroom? You know, excuse me, maybe, but yeah,
Do you know Activo and Pasivo?
no.
How's this related?
What were you asking, Alex?
And I was confused at the relevance of the diatribe.
Nothing.
I'm
It
confused.
was literally just to. It was
talking
literally
about.
just to
I'm,
shove a
I'm
fucking
confused
wedge
at the
into
relevance
everything
of
like
this
you're
show, but we're still here.
If you don't want to be on the show, like yeah.
Well, if we want to go into relevance, I'm confused as to the relevance of your subreddit. So,
Hey, if we
but
want to make it
Ooh,
relevant, we
light it
can get
up.
into some spicy debates on like race. You know, we could get really edgy if you want.
oh
I
sure.
think Sammy just called. I think Sammy just called Scorpio out on the relevancy of his Reddit. Let's focus on that real quick. What do you got to say about that, Scorpio?
That makes sense.
No,
we are the #1 depository of mocking Silver Squeeze.
Did
Apex.
the autism puzzle pieces like click in your mind, Alex? Like that meme where it's like it's holding up in the sunlight. It's like click.
It's like yeah, it came from Reddit. That should explain.
Apex. I have a confession to make. We invited you in here because we all think that you you know. Well, we each have something to say to you.
While he stutters, can you guys finish the sentence, please? Somebody, if you guys were all talking about it before I got here.
Is this just bullying hour? Like I like this. Can we do this more
Uh-huh.
often?
We are concerned.
Yeah, well, I guess
about
we're gonna
you
go
here.
full blood sports. No, I think that ship sailed
We
already,
are-
Sam.
We are concerned that you're going in a different direction than everybody else, and we just want you to come back.
Yo, is Lindsey Graham here?
Okay. Ooh, there we go. That's
know
something we
what?
probably
You
won't
know
debate
what? I
on.
will
Is
not-
Lindsey Graham
I
gay?
will not.
No,
I will not
absolutely not. I'm not even like trolling or anything. I
Not-
don't think Lindsey Graham's gay. I
What?
think,
Okay.
Not even
I
a-
think he's
Half
just a
that
boomer
one.
Southern dandy. If you go to South Carolina, there's a ton of like dudes that are very similar to him, and I really don't think he's gay.
So, so they're all
the-
gay then. Fuck, man. I didn't think the South would be that gay.
Well, where's his wife?
Probably got-
If he's
Are you
not-
kidding?
Yeah, where's
Watch
his
your dirty
wife? Why
fucking
isn't he
mouth, boy.
married? Where's that marriage material floating around in that piece of ass?
There's
got the
not.
money.
Have you looked at him?
Like
Like,
everybody's a prostitute, you know.
Dude, he's got the
Watch.
he might be asexual. Like that's about as far as I'm
that
willing
doesn't
to go, but-
exist. That does
Yeah.
not exist.
I-
I mean,
Okay, it seems unthinkable to you, but
No,
no,
it
it
doesn't
definitely
exist.
exists.
You know, like unless you had your penis chopped off or something.
Everybody's got a natural
Wait,
attraction to something.
what about the 93% of people who aren't on Twitter? Do they not exist either?
you probably.
Ooh, burn.
Lindsey Graham appears like the kind of guy that like burns himself. in
Also,
the basement
when you get
to
older, you
suppress
just
his
care
gay
about
feelings.
sex less in general. Like,
That's what sucks about getting old.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. I used to know someone who worked at a nursing home, and they'd probably.
No, it just gets weirder.
Tell,
It gets weirder. with
Yeah.
you.
tell that to Hugh Hefner. So
He's dead.
That nigga was pumped full of so much fucking so much like intravenous, experimental
Yes,
Viagra.
a very
Okay,
representative
still.
sample of old people is
Yeah,
doing that.
thank you, Sam, for that. Oh, one of the fucking richest people in the world for. Never mind.
So, yeah, that's what I'm like. That's what I'm saying. Like when people say like, it's never too late to have children. Look, Mick Jagger had a child at like 70. Like, yo, Mick Jagger is a fucking multi-millionaire rock star. Okay,
Yeah,
who
he's
has
like
an
a
ample
Chad.
amount of resources.
That dude froze that jidge when he was fucking 22 years old and had it injected into some woman when he was
It's
60.
honey, it's never too late. Like, no, it's some for some people it is too fucking late.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
you're gonna like stay up for that shit. Who'd want to deal with that? Like 80 years old. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Hey, touch bonus balls, yeah.
never
You
mind.
wouldn't.
But yeah, I was saying Lindsey Graham's probably one of those guys that like burns himself in the basement to suppress his gay feelings.
I believe it. I could see it. He doesn't have a wife,
Yeah,
still doesn't.
instead of gay, he's got his own
Well, neither does
dude.
Milo, and you don't think he's gay.
dude
Well,
he's
he's
got his own.
just thrown the ringer in the ocean. He's
Lindsey
not gonna
Graham
just.
has got Lindsey Graham has got his own do-it-yourself fucking BDSM kit where he like straps himself up and can still beat the shit out of himself. And,
How old is
cut
Lindsay?
himself.
Like Milo is still
He's rich,
young
man.
in his prime. Lindsay's like creeping on like probably his 60s or 70s. 65. Ooh.
Milo.
Milo hit the grift wave.
Nah, he
dude.
looks a lot older than that.
Look, he's got a whole bunch of corrupt DC money. He should be all right.
Yeah, I know. Well, maybe maybe the reason he's probably not married is
Lindsey
because
Graham is 65 years old.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. He's probably like running Epstein's side gig. That's
Jesus, McConnell's almost 80.
Yeah, that sounds
Dude,
about
he
right.
looks
actually.
like he's a fucking 180. Are you kidding me? Have you seen his skin?
Also,
got
he's
no
been there
fuck
for
is going
forever.
on
Like, I
there,
can't
man?
remember a time when he wasn't.
That's
Dude,
what
he
happens
looks
when
so bad.
that's what happens when you lived without a soul for like 50 years. Like it just like you.
Yeah, he crawled out of his turtle shell and got exposed to sunlight and had lost his soul. And this is what the final
Like,
product is.
that's the thing is like human sexuality is somewhat fluid, and for some people, they could just like wherever the money is, they'll put their dick, and that's where like Milo and probably Lindsey Graham also is.
That is a fact, man. I
That
mean,
is
it's
probably
uncomfortable
very
for a lot of people
that is
to admit
actually
that.
very
Yeah.
I mean,
accurate.
shit. If you gave me enough money, I'd crush a vag. I don't care.
I don't know.
Fuck yeah, you would, dude.
Yeah.
Mm,
Especially if it was on like a trans dude and it was like still
Like, if
fucking a
it's like
dude, but like a dude with a vag.
Listen, like with burgeoning teenagers for decades, they will make sacrifices to obscenely disgusting women just to put their dick in something. That's biologically a woman, at least.
tell me more
I'm
about this.
referring decades ago.
Tell me more about
No,
this,
I'm just
Apex.
shush. I'm referring in general, sir. Just referring in general. I've heard lots of stories. I'm not going to retell them. 'Cause it's not my place.
Where
I
did
have none of my own.
where did the neighbor lady touch you? Come on.
Nope. That was a male lady, and that was a secret. But the point was, like, yeah, I mean, sexuality is fucking weird, man. And
I want
go
you to
ahead, Phil.
point on the doll. I want you to point on the doll where the bad man touched you, okay?
The U.S. Senate.
Use this piece of mail addressed to
Did
your
anybody
mother.
see random moment here? Did anybody see the Caitlyn Jenner video where Caitlyn Jenner was talking about
Well,
seriously
girls shouldn't be in
Yeah.
tranny girls. Yeah.
that
Yeah.
right there is a clear example that the GOP has no fucking identity whatsoever, right?
No, it's all
No,
rage
it doesn't.
porn
They don't
and
know what to do
owning libs.
post Trump. The
Yeah.
establishment's
They
trying
didn't
to
know what
pull
to do
things
while he was
back.
around
Caitlyn,
either.
look,
Hold on. Oso, what? I can't hear Oso. I'm gonna turn
go
the rest
ahead.
of you motherfuckers down.
Yep.
What are we saying? Oso?
It's all like just responding to rage porn. That's pretty much it. That and owning libs. That's pretty much all I got.
Pretty much.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
with Caitlyn though, now that we're in a
Bruce.
time where Trump has been politically exiled, the GOP wants to bring the establishment back into power. So they're propping up Tim Scott to tell everybody that Republicans aren't racist, even though we have a border crisis and COVID lockdowns and the election reform and all that jazz. And then you have Caitlyn Jenner running in California.
I
Yeah,
definitely,
we're pretty
yeah,
fucked.
they should definitely be more racist. That's the way to win elections.
No, that's not my point. My point is that, and because Tim Scott did this response after Biden's State of the Union, and instead of focusing on immigration, which is one of the most important issues to conservatives, the economy, COVID lockdowns, tech censorship, and every other big important issue that kind of gets people excited, he did a whole what was it, 45 minutes just telling people Republicans aren't racist. Well,
About the
thanks,
greatness of
Tim.
America, and we're not a racist country at all. Like,
It's so
Sounds pretty bait.
irrelevant. We know this.
it's
Oh no, we're racist, man. But it's okay to be racist. You shouldn't hurt people.
like, it's just like it's they really the GOP really don't have a clear cut identity. Like, I mean, there's nothing when Caitlyn Jenner is standing more for women's rights in sports than Christy Noam,
Yeah,
you got
yeah.
a problem.
Question:
Got a
Who here,
problem.
who here can name an NWHL player?
No one watches women.
No one.
Yeah, I don't
Oh,
give a
okay.
shit.
So we're all really concerned about this thing that nobody gives a fuck about.
No.
Women
What are you
are.
talking about? Women's sports is big
Nobody
in
gives a
local
fuck about women's
communities.
sports, and I'm tired of hearing
In
people
local
larp like they care about women's
communities?
sports. Who
Yeah,
won
I
MVP of the WNBA last year?
Sports. I don't pay attention
That's
to
no.
NFL, NHL, NBA. Fuck sports. You know.
Again, also brings
Look,
up
I
a
don't
very
care
good
about
point.
sports,
People
but women
Yeah.
are that get into
No.
varsity. Well, they have a future
The
in this. This
reason
is
this is
fucking them
important
up.
is because if you can get a picture of somebody who looks like a big scary black man and give divorced dads the idea that they might be showering with their daughters, that gets the pay piggies turning. It's not an issue that normal
It's
people
not
are
an issue that
actually
affects
facing.
Well,
you,
no. I mean,
but
if
it
you have a
affects a
daughter,
lot of other
if you have a
people.
daughter, if you have a daughter and she wants to play sports, yeah, it'll affect her.
Yeah,
Cool. Which
'cause they're trained to
NWHL team
beat
is she
your
gonna
ass
play
in
for?
wrestling.
Name
Well,
an NWHL team.
she's not going to play for any if a fucking tranny beats her to the punch.
It's gonna play.
And where's that
Yeah, 'cause
happening?
it's
Where in
Look,
women's
this is
pro
what I'm
Do
sports
saying.
you
are
want
you
me to
seeing
bring up the
trans athletes?
The
videos?
problem is, yeah, because
Yes, show me a video of a women's pro sport where there's a trans athlete, and you're going to show me one, and it's going to be a someone who was born female.
I can show you state high school fucking
Exactly, and
record
that's where it'll
breakers.
end. Thank you.
I can tell. What about or the
It's a big issue. It does do high school sports not matter.
Thank you. I accept your.
Bro, high school sports are very important to a lot of people. They're not to me, but they are to other people. Like, you keep looking at things that affect you, but what about other people?
I mean, it honestly brings an interesting question in my mind that I don't know exactly how to. Oh, he left.
Yeah.
Oh,
that I
really
don't know
scared me
exactly
already.
how
God
to
damn.
Google.
That was just circular
but-
arguments. I can't stand that douchebag.
Yeah, I mean, but I mean, I like the argument. I think that he was trying to give is like not very like I don't know. You're arguing with a small example for somewhere, but like, look, what we're trying what I try to argue is like anybody that has a daughter, like anybody that has a
Yes.
daughter and they want to compete in a sport, right? Even to get into that professional sport, right? You have to stand out in junior high, high school, college, whatever, right? In order to get to those pro levels, right? And it's going to be really fucking hard to get to those pro levels when in the college ranks, in the high school ranks, you have, some tranny
Okay.
that breaks
Sure,
records.
you're right. But what I was actually thank you because I was actually just gonna say before I realized he was gone, or to play the other side of the argument here, to trying to make it 3-on-3,
Yeah.
was that now in a world where there's no college or professional teams other than one that can be apparently I don't know this for a fact, but whatever he said, there's one example you can pull up who was a female to male transgender, if it's, if these recruiters for college and professional are not looking for the transgenders, or they're looking beyond, if they're not looking past the criteria that doesn't exist for them, which would be a transgender in said sport, they would be looking for the next best that falls into the categories that they can recruit for, so that lines up logically for me.
Yeah, and
no.
I think that was the argument, is that there are
Yeah.
no they're not allowed. Yeah, the what is it? The male to female transgenders are not allowed in these women's pro sports.
Right.
Fallon
Beyond high
Fox in the
school and
MMA.
okay, which was pretty quickly stamped
But
down.
that's not a high school.
Well,
Women
you
are
guys
not
want
doing MMA in high
professional. That's
school.
professional.
That's
Yeah.
what y'all are talking. That was your whole
Yeah.
big argument, is that
Well,
the
there's also
trannies,
at the high
the
school level
trannies
too.
are there is no women's MMA in high school. What are you talking about?
Well, there's soccer.
Someplace.
I mean,
So
look at
what?
women's soccer. Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
but
if you
again,
want
That
the
doesn't
point
have
though,
it. You know, you
want
said
some
MMA. You're
beef?
the dude that's always trying to. You're always trying to slip around, man. You stay
No,
on
because
one thing.
well, you guys want a professional sport that people watch, and I bring up MMA. You want one that's
No.
for-
Your argument was that the trannies in high school are preventing them from going to professional sports. But if they're not, if they're not
Yeah,
competing
MMA.
for those sports in high school, they're not competing in MMA in high school against trannies.
Right.
Well, what about soccer? The professional women's soccer is one of the probably, if I'm not mistaken, Phil, it's probably one of the bigger ones of women that's watched.
But are there transsexuals in professional soccer though? Is the thing? Are there male to female transgenders?
Maybe not
in
today, but there
female
probably
soccer?
will be soon.
Oh my God, you're always talking about this doomsday scenario.
What about track and field? What about swimming?
What about them? Are they competing
In the
against them or not? Are
Yeah,
the, is,
trans,
are the,
trans,
is the
trans
U.S.
women
Olympic
are
team?
competing in the Olympics.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right, let's
I didn't know
fact
that.
let's
yeah.
fact check that real quick.
Doomsday scenarios here, isn't it?
Well, even in high school.
I was just watching a video on Twitter of some trans female fucking
The
destroying
fucking International Olympic Committee
destroying.
will not. There's no fucking way. There's no
destroying.
way, dude. There's no way.
What?
It's either high school or
Some other
college or
country would
something.
have done this years ago
High
What?
school
if
or
that were the
college.
if that were the case.
Destroyed.
Yeah, I see on Wikipedia like what Phil was talking about. During the Olympics, there's one in tennis. I bet basketball there's probably some too.
I mean,
Rugby, there's some.
But
I
are they
mean-
female to male or male to female? Because that's a
If
big
you're male to
difference.
female, you're probably not even going to be competing.
I mean, to be fair,
That's not true because the one example that Osa
Disavow.
was talking about earlier was a female to male.
to be fair,
I don't know what that
in college basketball for the women, there are some women that look like dudes but aren't. But that's a whole nother thing.
You just had, dude, didn't you, Sam? You fucking bigot.
I did. So
Yeah, but like I mean from I don't having I don't know, just having a daughter, like, and then telling her you could be whatever you want to be, you could train. So she spends her whole life like she spends her whole life training to be something, right? Something in track and field or anything like that. And then all of a sudden some tranny flips and is allowed to run and fucking dusts your daughter
Yep.
and takes a trophy that your daughter should have had.
That crushes them. And the one in
Yeah, and
tennis was
it demoralizes you. Like fuck.
yeah, because it's totally uneven playing field. Like the one in tennis, Renee Richards, that was somebody that was competing in the men's tennis, still a little, cut and stitching, and then started playing in the women's tennis. How is that fair? And how is this not happening when it's literally happening? And it's only going to get worse if conservatives go, "Oh, I don't care. It doesn't affect me."
Yeah, why can't they just make a tranny league?
They should. I'd be fine with that. I would I'd be all for it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, they should do that. I missed most of that conversation, but yeah.
listen, I don't think the. I mean, I have nothing against trannies in sports or trannies in general, other than I don't understand why. Anyway, that's a.
Well, dude, how long before it becomes to the point where it's like, oh, you don't want to watch tranny porn? Oh, you're a bigot. Oh, you don't want to date a trans person? Oh, you're an asshole.
That's
I
already here. The
mean,
super straight movement.
there
Remember?
there are already those assholes,
You
and
don't
granted,
suck that tranny cock. You're a fucking bigot.
I think Bill Burr said it best. And I'm gonna butcher the shit out of this, but it's something like, hey, I don't give a fuck what you do. You can cut your dick off all you want, but you can't expect me to not go, hey, what the fuck is that? Something like that. You can't expect me. You can do whatever you want. I don't give a fuck what you do, but you can't expect me to not go, hey, what the fuck? What the fuck's going on over there?
exactly,
With that human being.
exactly, Apex. That's all I'm saying.
Exactly, Bill Burr.
Just because I'm accepting of it doesn't mean I can't be weirded out by it. Just like I know that the bear.
Just like you do with black people, right, Sam?
Oh, disavow.
No, just like, hey,
Sam, I do not associate with you anymore. Disavow.
And you know what? But you know what? I would actually be a little bit more okay with trannies playing in sport and women's sports
Then black
if they
people.
weren't
Sorry.
allowed to have those records, right? If you were gonna say, oh, if you're not allowed to have those records because obviously,
Or make a separate record. If you're not gonna make a separate league, make a separate
exactly.
there has to be an exception. Like that would be something I would be like, okay.
I mean, because it is not the same, and I do get people's fucked up brains. I have a particularly fucked up one myself. I can't imagine myself, strapping on a fursuit or cutting my dick off or putting on ladies' clothes and stuff. But I mean, I try my best to empathize with the handful that I've met in my life. Unfortunately,
No, I do actually, even though I sound a bit abrasive, like I do have empathy for these people because they do have mental illnesses and they should be treated for it.
Sure, you do.
Whatever, bigot.
Yeah.
I think Dex has a fucking boner for these trannies.
If you say sure you do, Apex,
only when
then
they get close though. It's a proximity thing. Not at the distance.
Sam and I are busy enough. We don't need to add a third dick into it.
Disavow.
That's good.
Hey, Scorpio. Just because it's dumb doesn't mean it's not entertaining. Okay. Titty salad.
You got people leaving already. You got not only leaving but announcing that they're leaving.
Yo,
yeah. So I told you an hour ago to kill this fucking stream. You told me to come on here, and people started leaving. So how about you kill this fucking stream now, you dumb shit?
From like, where'd you find this fucker?
Where did you find this faggot? Alex the Great sounds like a freaking autist, a major autist. Even almost sounds incellular too.
Incellular, is that new word?
Yeah, I just made it up for you, baby.
Like the new fucking. I thought the iPhone. I guess that's me and the incellular plan.
What's that? What's that?
The incellular plan.
You don't get laid, dude. That's what it is.
Alex does work in IT, but that doesn't mean he can't get.
Oh, that explains a lot.
Oh, and he's also quite familiar with. Wait, I always mix Alex and Dex up on this one. Alex is the one that's more familiar with the blood sports.
Yes.
I don't give a fuck right now. He sounds like a little bitch.
He sounds like a little bitch. Yeah. Let's go.
Bruh, you're the one that. I don't know if you're the one that doesn't think IQ exists, so that explains a lot.
Well, he is Mexican, so give him a break. He is definitely
major disavow.
Disavow Mexicans?
No.
No.
I was gonna make the point that IQ doesn't matter. Like he's beyond IQ. He's like
that's enlightened.
what's that? Oh, dude, I
Enlightened
can't remember
centrist.
the
He's a
general's name that seized the Alamo. What's his name? Santa Anna. Is that Santa Anna?
Here.
I can't remember. I'm a terrible
What
Texan.
are
Never
you trying
mind.
to say?
Joke dead. Nothing. That you're awesome and you fucking rule shit. And eventually you're gonna get taken down by a couple of white people that stand their ground.
Oh, like the Alamo defenders.
Yeah. No, it's actually
Yeah.
that was the Yellow Rose of Texas, so it would have been a white woman. Which so the analogy's totally dead. The joke's dead. Doesn't matter. Sorry. Continue.
We need to we need to bring on Semper onto the stream if we want a Mexican versus white boy Texan stream to go to go off.
We're not doing that, Sam. You need to kill this stream. It's been going for fucking ever. Let these people go to sleep.
Yeah, you're right. It is almost
Yeah.
1 a.m. Or wait,
Yeah.
no, is it?
You're right. I am right.
It's only
5 past midnight.
yeah.
Sometimes
So.
I'm a good co. You know what? You faggots, start up another stream then, but end this one and do it elsewhere. Let everybody go to sleep.
Anyway, though, any final thoughts, topics, things you want to say? Insults to lob at me, your host.
Sam, you're. Oh no, I'm not gonna say it to me.
I'll do it. Come on, man.
Sam,
Never
do you want to
mean
hear
things-
the brunt of my joke?
Sure. Take
You're
it.
a real. Okay, get the drum set ready, okay? Because you're gonna need to crash some cymbals with this one. You're a real stand-up guy.
But just that's actually not that bad. The
You
joke
thought it was gonna be worse. I'm glad you have high standards for my cruelty and hatefulness.
The joke I always hear is, dude, I have big news for you. I hope you're sitting down for this.
Oh my god. Okay, that's actually kind of funny.
That is actually pretty funny. I've never thought to say that. Damn it.
Oh, I'll say
Great,
it for
and
next
and
time.
now you're gonna be saying it all the time. So
No, I'll have to save it for a special occasion.
Scorps, I really hope you use that on me one
Ooh,
one of
Did
these
you guys catch that
days.
voice break? Somebody clip that. I really hope.
That's what, yeah, my joke was well deserved then.
Shut
It wasn't
up.
cruel enough.
Shut up, faggot. I have plenty of clips of you saying, I'm retarded.
I hope Susan heard that. Did you hear that, Susan? End this fucking stream before
Your retard's the worst insult, by the way, because like, if anybody says that to me, specifically, I just go, yeah, and I'm proud of it. What are you gonna do about it? I can hack you. I can, like, I don't know, find your
Self-burn.
location.
Self-burn.
Could drive to your house and
Maybe.
Put you into a pretzel and embarrass you in front of your neighbors.
Anyway, though, folks, I actually think that this
Good night.
discussion was productive.
No, it wasn't.
Very, very productive.
I don't think anyone changed their mind. Like that's like
I don't know. I changed my mind on everything. I don't think conservatives are being censored on the internet. I don't think trannies are getting into sports and ruining young girls' lives.
Hold on, time out. Hold on.
No, this is a problem. Yeah. Like
One last thing I have to say, guys.
What did you say, Alex?
No, I said it's like gaslighting the podcast.
I mean, listen. What you guys, I think, are failing to understand here. What you fail to understand is squeak, is that this is entertainment. When people argue on the internet, whether they believe it or not, or partially believe it, and then joke about it, and do so believingly, it's incredibly entertaining for people.
So we're grifters.
No, I mean, are you asking for donations? Are you looking for? Well, you might.
Yeah, guys, $1 million. I pay for my Lambo right now.
I haven't yet. Streamlabs.com/The Whitfield Report. Let's go.
Yeah, patreon.com/The Whitfield Report, right? For the nudes and the feats.
Especially for the feats.
Good night, everybody.
All right, folks. Thanks for everyone for tuning in. Scorps, anything you want to promote? GSK, anything?
Nah, I'm good.
Okay. Sean, go follow Versa Media on YouTube. They could really use the sub count. I'll post a link to their channel in the description after the stream. And Alex, are you anywhere these days?
I'm in places just not for fun.
Cool.
And you can also subscribe to our recently created OnlyFans account where you can get exclusive pictures of all of us together in one room.
Wait, what? You must have drugged me for that. But
I'm kidding. We actually we should have trolled OnlyFans, but we do not have one yet. But if we really want to grift or we really want to make some shekels, like we'll just open up.
Quit talking shit about things you ain't got. Plug your things and end this goddamn fuck stream.
I mean, if you really want to find us, Versa Media on YouTube, at Versa Media on Twitter, and probably everywhere else. Whatever you guys want. If you want some intelligent
At
dialogue
Versa Media, right?
and some mild retardation, you just go to our channel. It'll be lovely. And some cool interviews.
Versa Media, right? On most platforms.
Yeah, Versa Media.
Okay. All right. Thanks for hopping in, guys. Sammy, thank you for having us. Thank you, chat, for tolerating all of this.
You're what?
Extreme mental illness. Good night.
All right.
Kill it.
Good night. God bless.
Do your thing.
God save this great nation. God, freedom, Ugsy in that order, and I'll see you on the next stream.
Good night, gamers.
In a world where gamers.
So where'd you find that guy? Like I'm curious.